Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. This is our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 415. Welcome! What do we have for you today? We have easy peasy, we have affordable, we have couture creations, we have wahoo couture. For sure. But before I get into today's class, of course, we've got to announce winner chicken dinner and do updates. The warehouse sale is processing all the way to the end. We are almost done. So we've got racks and racks of orders to ship out that have all been filled and they're being quality controlled now. So we are getting down to the final days. And if you have a pay later order, well, it's time to pay. So you took advantage of all of those amazing deals, dies for 25 cents, 50 cents, 99 cents, $1.99, even $35 dies for $3.99. So if you took advantage of all of those deals and chose pay later, well, it's now time to pay. We have sent out all the pay later invoices via PayPal. You don't have to have a PayPal account to pay, but there's a link down at the bottom that says pay via other credit card. So you don't have to have a PayPal account, or if you just want to call us here at the shop and pay for your order, that would be great. We are almost done and we'd like to just wrap it all up in a pretty little bow and call it over. Then we can start thinking about the next warehouse sale. The stuff for the next warehouse sale. Oh my gosh. The things we've never, ever had before. Amazing. So I also have winner chicken dinner to announce. We're going to do that right now because then I have a story to tell you. Now, unfortunately, if you're watching this during our live chat and or the premiere and you are live chatting with me right now, you can't fast forward through my story. Sorry. You can go have a cup of coffee or maybe go out and do some gardening and then come back and fast forward through my story. But during the premiere, there is no fast forwarding. You just have to listen. If you are watching this at any other time after the premiere, you are welcome to fast forward through me. And as soon as you see me take the camera and tilt it down, you know we're starting for today. But the story is kind of important. It has to do with what I'm showing you today, and it will come full circle. I do try to eventually bring, we may take a couple detours, but I do try to bring everything around to a circle. Okay, winner chicken dinner. I have 4 of you because last week I couldn't make the announcement. We had technical difficulties. So there's 4 winners who have received a $25 gift card. They don't have to do anything more. Their $25 gift card is already in their online account. You don't have to claim your prize, nothing. Just go spend it and have fun. Are you ready to hear if you're a winner chicken dinner? Okay, our first winner is, how about Jeannie Thompson? Hello, Jeannie Thompson. Come on down. You're the first winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple for today. Wahoo couture, Jeannie. Congratulations. Our next winner is Kathy. Is it Kathy Marine? Kathy Marine, is that it? If it's not, it doesn't matter. You're still a winner chicken dinner. Congratulations, Kathy. Marine? You tell me, which is it? Our next winner is Karen Jemison. Hello, Karen Jemison. Is that you? Are you screaming up and down? Are you going, no? Are you rewinding me, rewinding, watching? Are you calling in your fur babies, your grandkids, your husband, your significant other saying, she called my name. Look, there it is. Yes, I did, Karen. I did that for you and for Kathy and for Jeannie. Our last winner chicken dinner is Pammy. Hello, Pammy Clayton. How are you today? Congratulations to you, Pammy. Well done. All of these lovely ladies have received a $25 gift card put in their online account. How do you get a chance to be a winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple? Well, all you have to do is post a comment below. Right below, post a comment, and to be able to post a comment, you have to subscribe. There's a little heart over here with an SMS. Just run your mouse over it. A little subscribe bar will come up. Click that and then you can post your comments. I guarantee you, Karen and Pammy and Jeannie and Kathy probably never thought I was going to call their name, but I did. You just never know when it's going to be your turn, and who doesn't want $25 to spend on something that will make their heart happy, something Wahoo could chew, something you would maybe never buy for yourself. Maybe you have a friend or a family member going through some tough times and you buy them. You spend $25 and get them some crafty goodness. Feels good to give. It really does. So congratulations to all of you. Now, Couture Creations. Okay, so let me tell you my story, my dented can story. Sorry if you can't fast forward, you just gotta put up with me. Eventually I do actually teach a crafting class, truly I do. But for you to appreciate what I have, you have to know why it is. So, okay, my brothers, I'm from a family of 4 children. I have 3 sisters and a brother. They are substantially older than I am. By the time I was like 8 or 9 years old, they were all out of the house, living their own lives, going to college, getting married, doing their thing. My brother was a football star. My dad was the football coach. We were a football family, but that still left 3 daughters. So we were all Girl Scouts. Now my sisters obviously started Girl Scouts before I was born, and they took their Girl Scout experience all the way through high school. Yes, people did that. Honestly, it was a thing, and it was a good thing. So my sisters had the same troop all the way through high school. And the minute I was able to, the minute I was old enough, I was signed up for brownies. And this is before there was, I think, daisies is what they call them now. Brownies was the youngest group you could be. And I want to say we were in 1st grade, 2nd grade. We were pretty young, but I sported my brown uniform and my sash, and man, could I sell Girl Scout cookies. Let me tell you, like nobody's business when you went door to door to sell your Girl Scout cookies. So I lived directly across the street from the school. We lived on 4 Oaks Street, and Cedar Creek Elementary School was literally right in front. I mean, we were directly across the street. The crosswalk to the school was right by my house, yet we were always late for school. Don't know why, but we were. So when I was a brownie, we would have our meetings in the multipurpose room at Cedar Creek Elementary School, and including the summers. And I don't know, for some reason or another, one summer there was a week that we couldn't have our meeting in the multipurpose room. Maybe they were painting it, I don't know. It was during summer break. So the troop leaders asked my mom if it would be okay if they held the meeting at my house because I lived so close to the school. I mean, right there. And my mom said, absolutely, have them all come over and we'll do the snacks, because you always got a snack. You always got to snack it. And you always did like an art project or a crafty project. And so I was so excited. I mean, I was like big kid in 1st grade. You're coming to my house for brownies tomorrow. You're coming to my house for brownies. I was very excited and very full of myself. Truly I was. So my mom, the day before the meeting, said, okay, let's go to the store and let's get the snacks. Now in my brain, my mind, I'm thinking cookies and candies and cakes and chips and punch and popsicles. And I mean, I'm thinking, oh, we'll just put out a spread. Because I saw what my mom did at parties. Trust me, if you've ever been to Scrapbooking Made Simple for an event, you know we put out a spread of food. We do. Nobody, if you go home hungry after being at an SMS event, that's your own fault. So I had all these things in my mind, and we get to the grocery store and my mom says, okay, pick the one thing you want for a snack. One? Wait a minute. No. I need cookies and candies and popsicles. And she said, pick out the one thing you would like to have for a snack for the Girl Scout meeting. So the Girl Scout meeting was going to be held out in our backyard. So I said, okay, well, I want popsicles. And my mom's like, oh, popsicles. I think she was hoping for cookies or something. But I said popsicles. So we went over to the freezer section, and there's quite a few girls, and my mom looked at the popsicles, and I think they were probably a little bit more money than she hadn't necessarily intended on spending, because you know, when you've got that many girls and they're there for that long, and you got to have punch and popsicles and all sorts of stuff. And she said, okay, what if we make popsicles? And I'm like, make popsicles? And she's like, yeah, let's go make popsicles. So she walks me a little bit further down the freezer section, and I don't know if any of you remember this, but we didn't used to get our lemonade or our orange juice in cartons. We got them in these little tubes in the freezer section that were fresh from concentrate. It was this little tube, and you peeled off this plastic, and kind of like crescent rolls, you know, it came in a tube, but fat, like if you were eating Grands. And then you shook this frozen concoction of juice into a container, and you added 3 cans of water, and then you stirred it and it made your juice. I mean, that's how we got our lemonade and our orange juice and our grape juice. It didn't come out of a pre-made carton that you just took out of the refrigerator. You bought them, and maybe they were $1 for each one, as opposed to buying a carton of orange juice, which probably was $3 or $4. My parents were not wealthy. We were truly middle class at best. I mean, really. You know, my mom was a key punch operator. My dad sold life insurance. They had 4 kids. It was a thing. So my mom said, okay, which flavor do you want? You can have orange juice, you can have grape juice. There was probably a fruit punch concentrate and lemonade, pink lemonade. And I said, okay, I want lemonade. So lemonade, that's what I want. And so I went and I opened up the freezer, and my mom said, get 2 cartons. And so I went to reach for them, and she said, look it over there. Right next to the lemonade that I was going to pick, there were a few of them that had this big red sticker on it that said 50% off or half off. And it was a dented can. And my mom said, look, they've got it for 50% off. The cans are dented. And I said, yeah, and I'm still going for my lemonade. And she goes, well, why don't we get the dented cans? And I'm like, well, why would we get the dented cans? I really was a precocious child. I mean, truly, I had an answer for absolutely everything. Why would we get the dented cans? We don't want dented cans. And she's like, but if we get the dented cans, you might be able to get cookies too. I could get cookies too. Wait, what? So if I buy the dented can lemonade, we're still going to be able to make popsicles, right? And I can get cookies. And she says, well, yeah, because we're saving 50%. So that didn't take my brain long to go, okay. So I went and I got 2 cans of the 50% off, and they were dented. And then I was able to get my cookies. We went back home, and you know, I don't know if they still make them, but we had these little Dixie cups, and they had this little Dixie cup dispenser, and it was in our bathroom, so that when we brushed our teeth, we rinsed out, and my mom got the little Dixie cups, and we made our lemonade. We made 2 pitchers of it, and then we took these little Dixie cups and we filled them about 3/4 of a way up, and then we put them in the freezer. And then before they were totally frozen, Mom put popsicle sticks in them. So then when they were totally frozen, you turned it upside down, and you kind of got the Dixie cup, which had a kind of a waxy coating on it, and bam, you had a popsicle. It was like, wow, and cookies. So I learned from that you have to kind of look a little bit around things. You have to look harder. You have to figure out how to make things work. And you know, and I had everybody, we had the Girl Scout meeting at my house, and I so remember it. I remember we did like water painting out in the backyard, and we got a piece of paper and a pencil, and you took the pencil or a pen. You weren't allowed to pick the pencil or pen up. You had to draw your design, and you weren't allowed to pick it up until you were done. And then you could only use 3 colors of paint to paint in all the areas. And we did it in the backyard, and we had popsicles, and we had cookies, and you know, I just thought that that was the best thing in the whole world. My mom was right. My mom was always right. You know, you can say that as an adult, but when you're a teenager, that doesn't come so easy. And she just made things perfect. And she taught me so many wonderful lessons. I am so sorry. You know, sometimes I'm able to talk about my parents and it's just fine and I'm able to get through it without any problem. And then sometimes a memory will come up where you just have to take a moment for just a second. Hold, please. But she just made things perfect, and she was so smart, and she was never given the credit she deserved for just how smart she was. So I have a dented can for you today. I have a dented can, and I'm hoping that you see with this new Couture Creations product how wonderful it can be, how amazing you can use it if you're okay with a dented can. You're gonna make beautiful things, and my popsicles were every bit as delicious, and my cookies too. So I have a worldwide launch. We're probably the only company that will ever have these because of the dented can. And for that, Ozzie Andrew has let us have them and bring them to you for an exceptional value. And if you do the I Want It All bundle, we're throwing in inks and daubers for free on top of it all. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to show you why I'm glad we didn't cancel this YouTube. I'm glad we're going to show you why the can is dented and what to do about it, and then let you not only have your lemonade popsicles, but your cookies too. All right, it's me, Stacy. Just missing my mom right now. But I'm gonna tilt on down and we're gonna get started for today, right? Right. Okay, down we go. Holy smokes, artichokes. You know, sometimes I can just talk and talk and talk about my parents and it's not an issue at all. And then sometimes something comes up and it's like, oh, wait. All right, so here's our first card sample. Look at how pretty is that. So the girls have made beautiful samples, absolutely beautiful samples. Here is another. I'm going to show you how easy peasy it is to use this product from Ozzie Andrew and Couture Creations, and why it is so valuable and so value priced. Ozzie Andrew has brought out 4 sets, 4 collections. In each set, you're going to get 4 dies. There's 4 dies. You're going to get 1 stamp set, and you're going to get 4 stencils that layer on top of the stamp set so you can easily color it, that then can be die cut out. Amazing. So he has 4 different sets. Now, originally, these would have gone for $20 each, which is a smoking hot price all on their own. But because they're a dented can, we have them for $11.99 each. And if you do the I Want It All bundle, we've added in inks and daubers because I'm going to be using inks and daubers. So if you get the I Want It All bundle, you're going to have ink immediately and daubers immediately to play with. So each set has 4 different dies, it has the stamp set, and it has 4 stencils that will layer on top of that stamp set to give you easy peasy coloring. All right, there's all 4 of them. Now let me tell you why they are, put them over here, why they are a dented can. So 3 of them, let me pull off my stamp set and put my stencil back. So I'm going to start with this one here. And just a beautiful little stamp. And you peel the liner part off, easy peasy mac and cheesy. And then you're left with this, which normally we peel this piece off as well. Normally this peels right off, and then you would take your clear set and attach it to your acrylic block or your stamp positioner or whatever you do with your clear stamps. But because of heat and pressure, when they applied what they call a carrier, and this one actually has the index on it so you can see what the stamp looks like, it fused itself to the stamp. You can get them off. It is very difficult. It really is very difficult. But does that mean that the stamp is not good? No, the stamp is amazing. So how are you going to make this work? Well, you have a couple options. You can take some Stacy tape and put it on the back, stick it to your acrylic block and stamp. Or you can do like me. I'm going to ink this up. That's good. I'm going to lay my paper right on top. Press down. Give a nice back rub and call it done. There's nothing wrong with the stamp. I just can't get it off the backing. There was long conversations with Ozzy Andrew. He sent me the samples of these, and when we got them, I said, Andrew, we can't get these off. So then there was the question of, I can't do this without not looking at you. Then there was the question of, do we not do the YouTube? Do we let it, do we do something else? Do we, then what does Andrew do with this product? And he's like, I said, Andrew, I think I can show them how to use this so that they get all the benefit from it. They do. But it's a dented can. And he said, absolutely. So he doesn't know the dented can story. I didn't tell him it was a dented can. I said, but we have to work with it. We have to show them how to use it and then give it to them at a value price. So each set, they were $20. They were meant to retail at $20, and we have them for you at $11.99. Even if you buy the I Want It All bundle, you're going to pay $12 for 4 of them. That's $48. But then we're giving you an entire Hero Arts Cube Ink 4-pack and 4 daubers to go with it as a bonus. So for $48, you're getting $93, $94 worth of product. When you see how these are used, I think you're going to go, I can deal with a dented can. Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to go back down. I'm going to tilt back down, and we're going to continue. So, all I did is take it and stamp upside down. If you have a stamp positioner, so we have a stamp positioner from Studio Light. I don't know how long we'll have the stamp positioner from Studio Light. I have very few of these to sell. We were offered them. I bought them, but very few. If you have a stamp positioner, instead, all you're going to do, take a piece of Stacy tape or any double-sided tape and stick it straight to your mat, and then you're ready to stamp down. If this was just a clear block, you would do the exact same thing. No problem. Then when you're done, peel it off, take off the tape, and you're back to a square one. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. For today, I'm pretty much going to stamp just upside down. But if you don't have a stamp positioner, we would carry Ozzie Andrews, but he's not allowed to sell them in the United States. This one is from Studio Light, and we carry Studio Light. I was offered the opportunity to buy these, so I did. They're a 6x6. They come with the 2 magnets. In fact, we even have magnet replace or additional magnets if you want. So it comes with 2, and then you can buy additional. I have very few of these as well. These magnets will work with everybody else's stamp positioner. Like I said, it's a 6x6. It doesn't have any edges anywhere else, so you can move your paper however you want or have larger pieces of paper. I inked up my rulers with some black Stays On ink so that I was able to see my ruler, because you can't see it unless you do that. And again, I want to say they're $33, and then we put them at 20% off, but very, very, very few of them. I did want to show them to you. So I just took my ink, inked it up. Hopefully I got the whole thing. Put my paper right down on top of it and gave it a nice little back rub. You can put it on your block with your double-sided tape. You can put it on your stamp positioner with your double-sided tape, or you can do a little back rub. I'm good with that. Now, what makes these sets so unique and special, and what makes them the value that they are? Let me get rid of that black ink. What makes them the value that they are is the dies and the stencils. So 4 stencils and a die that has 4 different designs. The main design is going to cut this image out. And then because they had space, they added a few little odds and ends in here for you to use. I'm going to play with the stencils next before I get to the die cutting. Let's just put the die right there. So now I've got my stamp here, and I've got my 4 stencils. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these stencils are going to layer right on top. Butterfly, 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 butterfly. Is that my butterfly? Oh, where's my butterfly? He's here somewhere. He's right there. There. No, I'm still not there. Did I grab the wrong one? No, this is right. Okay, big one there. Okay, this is gonna drive me crazy. No. Okay, Stacy. How hard can this be? Where's my stamp set? This is gonna drive me crazy. Upside down, over the top. No, that's still not it. All right, I found that one easy enough. How can that not be? Where am I going wrong? this way. Oh, I'm trying to make a flower where there isn't one. Okay, that was a little painful, but I did it. Oh, Stacy, holy smokes, artichokes. All right, if you're not with me anymore, that's okay. I fully understand. But there it is. It took me forever to line that one up. I'm like, how can it be wrong? It's right there. Okay, I'm going to actually mark this as front. So I'm just going to take my pen and I'm going to mark top. Yes. There. And then I'm going to take this one while I'm doing this. And I'm going to mark this one. Top. And then I'm going to mark this one. Oh, sure, now they all line up easy peasy. Top. And then, last but not least, okay, so this butterfly is that butterfly, and look at that, top. Okay, so save yourself from what I just did and make things easier for yourself. Put my marker back, bring over my first one, which is here, line it up, and you're going to notice that it's going to mask almost all of the stamp. That was painful. Oh my gosh. But there's no editing here, so you just had to bear with me to get through it. Okay, so you can see it's masking almost everything except for the flowers. So I'm going to put it in place, line it up with those flowers, get a little bit of maker's tape or washi tape, whatever you've got. Tape it on down. And now I'm good to color it. How am I going to color this? Well, blending brushes are not going to be the best thing for this. The best thing for this is going to be daubers, and that's why we're giving you some daubers. I've got my set here, and I have like daubers for color families, and I just use them over and over and over and over and over again. We're going to give you 4 daubers, so you're going to get with your I Want It All, you're going to get 4 of these, so you're ready to start. But I'm going to grab yellow because that's what I do. So I'm going to grab yellow, and I'm going to grab a dauber for yellow, and I'm using the Hero Hues inks, the little cubes, and I'm just going to go in. And now if I want to be able to color off, let's grab an extra piece of paper right here. If I want to go in and color off, I want to have another piece of paper here with me. What do you mean by coloring off? Well, if I go straight into my color and then I go straight to my paper, it's going to be kind of dark. What if I want to dab some of that color off so when I go to my paper it's a little bit lighter? Or I dab some of that color off and I go to my paper and it's even lighter. So if you want to be able to color off, you either need to make sure you've got enough room around you on your white paper, or just grab another sheet of paper. I can move this over, and I'm going to start with my yellow, and I'm going to color off. So I want a light yellow. Maybe you only have one yellow. Maybe that's all you've got. How do you get different tones out of, or different saturations out of one color? You color off. So now I've got my yellow pretty light, and all I have to do is go in and color where the openings are. I don't have to worry about being neat. I can just go in and add some color where my openings are. The stencil is masking the rest of the image. So a color that is normally that dark, I made that light. Same color, but I just kind of desaturated it so that I could get a light tone going on. Now, if I want to go back and add some darker color, I can. I can go in. If I want darker yellow, I can add some darker yellow towards the bottom to give a little bit of shading. See, this time I'm not coloring off. So far, all I've used, and I'm not being pretty or neat about it at all. Now, another little, on this one set alone, another little dented can issue is that the stencil was cut with a leaf in it, where the leaf is supposed to be covered. So I just colored it yellow. I'm gonna go back and color it green in a little bit, but now you can see I have immediately colored. If I wanted to add a different color, maybe I don't want just yellow, I could go in with another dauber. How about I add a little pink to it? Make sure it stays lined up. And maybe I just add a little pink to some of these. The beautiful thing is that the mask on the stencil makes sure that you don't get that color anywhere else. Bam, and you have instantly become a professional colorer, right? That's pretty rock star, right? So easy to do. Daubers are your friends with this one. So, okay, I've done that one. Now I can go to my next stencil. And let's put my pink away. And maybe my next stencil are the little flowers. So now I've got my top, I know now. I line up my little flowers. That looks pretty good. Tape it back down. Now you can see the flowers that I did are covered by the stencil. So the only thing I can color in are those little flowers. And what if I just do those in the pink? And I go 1, 2. This is not difficult coloring. I'm just bouncing. Ah, right? That's not so bad, right? All I did was like bounce on top. If I want to make them a little darker, I add a little more color. All right, let's move to the next one. I think I will do my leaves top. Oh, look at how easy that is. Now I'm gonna put this in place. Tape it on down. And now you can see it's covering all of the flowers that I've done, and the only opening is where I can add green. So for me, I'm gonna start with my yellow. You're like, yellow, but they're leaves. Eeks, I know, but I always add yellow as a base. That way, if I accidentally forget it, oh, that's really dark. If I accidentally forget anything, I know at least it's covered in yellow. So I'm just gonna go in there and add some yellow. Just as a base coat. And because the stencil is masking everything else off, I can be done that quick. Now I can go back with my green. And I can add a little bit of green to my leaves. And all I'm doing is coloring in. And I don't have to be careful about mixing my colors and worrying about my flowers, because they have been masked off by the stencil. Ah, are you getting there with me? Now the last stencil I have to do is going to do the little centers and my butterflies. Top up. Gosh, I should have done that to start with. Talk about making my life a little easier and your life a little harder in the beginning. Sorry. So now, everything is masked off except for those cute little butterflies and the centers of these flowers. It's the only thing that's left to do. So I'm gonna grab my strawberry color. Or maybe I'll use bubblegum and I'll just do it really dark. So I'm using the same pink, only I'm not gonna tap off. I'm just gonna go straight and do those centers. So now you can see the centers are a little darker. If I wanted to, I could change the color of them. Could have done them, I guess, in the strawberry and made them even darker. Oh, look at that. Wow, that's dark. This is not high-tech coloring. This is, I want really pretty things, but I'm not a good colorer. But yeah, I can do that. That I can do. Oh, and then the last thing I have to do on this one. No, I moved it. Okay, the last thing I have to do is my butterflies. And what if we do those butterflies in a super pretty blue? How about we use the cornflower? And again, I'm just gonna go zoop, just like that, zoop. Voila. Now, what you need to know is over here, this is supposed to be a leaf right under here, and it's part of the flower. So when I colored it yellow, it just kind of disappeared. But if I wanted to, I could come back in with that very first stencil that took me forever to figure out the top of it. See, it's supposed to be a leaf right there. It's the only stencil that got cut wrong out of all 16 stencils in the entire set. So this is supposed to be a little leaf. All I have to do is maybe add a little bit of green to it. Open my green. And poof. Okay, that is simple and easy to do. Let's do it super fast because I've got this one already done, and now I know which way my stencils go. So you can see just how fast and easy it is to do if you were doing it at home. So I'm going to start with my biggest, and I know this is my top. Of course, I don't know which way this is, if this is my top. Yep, fits right there. Look at that. Perfect. Bam. A little bit of maker's tape. Maybe I'll do the side. A little bit of maker's tape, and let's do pretty pink. Let's do a super light pink. Scooch that just a little bit. A little bit that way, and put this on a little bit better. Okay, light pink. And I'm just spouncing. So all I'm doing is just a little bit of spouncing. I'm not giving it any too much thought. All I have to do is not go outside the stencil, not go off the stencil. Just a little bit of light pink. And then I know that that's a leaf down there, so I'm going to leave it alone. This is the only stencil that you have to leave that leaf alone. Okay, a little bit of light pink. Now let's come in with a little bit of strawberry maybe. Just add a little dimension on here. Okay. A little bit of red. There we go. So there I am. Next stencil. Let's do our little flowers. Top, bing, bang, boom. Look at that. Put down my tape. Decide what color I want them to be. One, two, three. Done. Take it off. Let's do my leaves. Top. Ha 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 ha. Get that lined up. That looks pretty good.
down my tape. I'm going to do a little bit of yellow, just so I'm sure that I don't leave anything white. Just want to make sure that everything is colored. I don't want to leave anything white. So I just made all my leaves a little bit of yellow just to give them a base color. Now I'll go in with my green. Just to make sure that nothing is left white. Then I can go in with my green and blend it in with my yellow. All my flowers are being masked off. And then last but not least, I finish off with my flower centers and my butterflies. So I'm going to do those red centers again. So 1, 2, 3. This is Coloring Made Simple. Compliments of Couture Creations. Now I've seen other manufacturers have the layering stencils with the stamps and the dies, but the pricing can be holy smokes artichokes. It can. What color do I want to make? What color do I want to make? Oh. Maybe I'll make my butterflies pink. Here you've got everything you need in one package. You don't have to buy the stamps and then the stencils and then the dies. And it's not going to run you anywhere from $30 to $50 to do it. Bam. But remember, that's supposed to be a leaf. So I just bring over my first one, line it back up, add a little bit of yellow, zoop, zoop, zoop. Add a little bit of green, and I'm done. That is what Aussie Andrew has brought to you in these kits. But remember, we're not done. We also have the dies. We have the dies to work with. So take my stencils, take my stamp, take my stencils, put my daubers away, and let's die cut these. So you have a choice at this point. Do you die cut them or not? I mean, you absolutely could trim this out. And mat it. Let's see, do I have any matting paper down here? What do I have here? Oh yeah, that'll do. Now I know you guys would get your trimmer. I tried to use one last week. I did okay. Somebody mentioned that I don't freehand as well as I think I do, but you know what? I'm happy freehanding. Gosh, or do I like it with the red? Nope, I like it with the pink. Okay. Good enough for now. Tape everything down and add it to a card or a layout or a gift tag, whatever it is you want to make out of it, but I haven't die cut yet. Let's take this one and grab the die that goes with it. So in this set, you get the die that goes with it, along with some little bumblebees and a little your little hexagon, your little label, little bumblebees, and the die that's going to cut this out. So now it's a matter of just finding out where to position it. Bring over my Big Shot machine. Today I am using a magnetic platform. Your machine does not come with a magnetic platform, although we sell a bundle that has the machine and a magnetic platform, and you pretty much get the magnetic platform for free. Why do you want one of these? If you do a lot of die cutting that doesn't have anything to do with stamps or trying to die cut out specific images, then you really don't need it. If you're just doing shapes, but if you are stamping and die cutting, the magnetic platform makes your life easy. Now this is a open frame die, which means I can put my hand through it. It is a wafer die, which means it's meant for paper. It's not intricate at all. But what happens is when I line it up, it won't move because it's on that magnetic platform. So when I have it all lined up the way I want it, then I can send it on through. And I'm hoping that I'm close. We're going to guess that I am, and we're just going to go for it. It's only paper, and you saw how easy it was to color. So I put my Do Not Cut plate on top. I've got my Sizzix Big Shot machine. I'm just going to send it on through. It only has to go through. It almost feels like that nothing is happening, but it is. It's just an easy die to cut. I don't have to go back and forth. I don't have to rotate. And bam. Well, I was a little off, but that's okay. Bam. You're done. You can do this. And the dies make it so easy. Do you not want to use the dies? Do you just want a mat and just use that on its own on a card front? Do you want to do that and then pop? Do you want to pop out the little individual? You can go and fussy cut your little butterflies out and pop them up, but you still have the cute little bumblebees and the little label and the little hexagon pattern there. So easy to do, no coloring involved. You're using a dauber. The most difficult thing you're going to have to choose is what color ink you want to use. So I'm going to put this aside. And I'm going to go to the next one. So the next one I'm going to do is like the sunflowery daisy kind of looking one. And I'm going to start with my stamp set, and here's my die set. And here are my stencils. So I've got the 4 stencils just like I had last time that are going to allow me to do all the coloring. I've got the dies just like I had last time. You've got the frame die that's going to cut out your stamped image, but then Ozzy Andrew also gave you a big butterfly, a little butterfly, and another cute little label, just because they had room. Well done. So I'm going to take my stencils. You know what? While I do this, I'm going to figure out my tops right now before I even go any further. And again, I've got my dented can. So this side peels off no problem. Easy peasy. This side, you can do it, but it's best just to leave it on the liner. Just leave it on the liner. And I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to go here. That's not it. Oh, that's it. And I'm going to write top. In fact, I'll write top here and put my arrows there. That way I know which way to stamp. Perfect. Okay, so there's 1. And top. 2. And top. 3, and last but not least, look at there, top, and my 4th one. Awesome. So now I'm going to turn this one over. I'm going to grab some paper. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm going to ink it up. Now this hasn't stamped before. It's brand new. So it may take a couple images before I get a good one, because you're either going to stamp off or you're going to wash this really gently, or some people take an eraser and they're just getting the extra residue off. And one, two, three, ABC. Done. Let's do it again. Only this time maybe we use a brown ink. Maybe you don't want black ink. Okay. I'm using a smaller ink pad, so I want to make sure that I've inked everywhere. And it's a pretty good stamp for the first stamp. I'm still not getting that center, but I'm okay. 1, 2, 3, ABC. But what if I wanted to emboss with this? Can I do that? Sure. Get out your Versamark. Versamark is a watermark medium and an embossing medium. When I say it's a watermark medium, let's grab this. And let's ink this up. So I'm putting Versamark all over my stamp. And then smooth side, smooth side. Let's cut down a piece. What do I mean by watermark? Can you see how it's left a watermark on my paper? Can you see that? So it's changed the color of my paper. It's tone on tone printing. It's not using an ink. I didn't use an ink. I used a clear watermark medium. I know my pad looks yucky. They don't come looking this way. They come looking beautiful. But I've used it so much, I don't care if my pad looks yucky. As long as it still works, I'm not getting a new one. Now, if I let this dry, it's going to dry that beautiful tone on tone. And you will see that people will take stamps and they'll make their own background paper with the stamp. In fact, we have a sample of that over with the girls when I show you the samples at the end. It means you don't have to have any ink if you use a Versamark and you stamp on top. It's going to darken the color of the paper, but it matches perfectly because it is the paper. It's just changing the saturation and darkening it up a little bit. And again, when it dries, it leaves that beautiful watermark. So that's what Versamark does, along with using it as an embossing medium. So now, let me put this one here. If I take my paper and I, once again, use my Versamark. And I put my paper down. And I give a nice back rub, or you use a stamp positioner, or you use these on your block. Remember, you'll have to take a little bit of Stacy tape or a double stick tape so that you are able to stick it to your block, because it's not going to pull off that liner. It just isn't. It is the dented can. There I am. You still have a little bit of brown from when I did my brown ink, but I'm good with that because I'm going to emboss. So I'll put my stamp right here. I'll bring over my embossing powder, and what about maybe gold? Now, this is where embossing powder becomes really important. These are super, super, super fine lines, really detailed fine lines. And if you use a standard embossing powder, the standard embossing powder, when you melt it, it's going to kind of grow a little bit. It's going to become from a powder to a liquid to a solid. And you want it to cling to that line to keep as much detail as possible. And a standard embossing powder, it's the same as a detailed. The color is exactly the same. It all has to do with how finely it is ground, like coarse pepper and finely ground pepper. Coarse salt, table salt, sea salt, finishing salt, they're all ground to a different consistency. The color, the salt may all be the same, but they're ground to a different consistency. And that's true with a detailed embossing powder. A detailed embossing powder will always let you do thick lines, but a standard embossing powder may not let you do detailed lines because it's going to go from this powder to kind of a liquid to a solid. And I'm just moving it all the way around. Give a little tap off. And then I'm going to put my embossing powder away. A little embossing powder goes a long way. So you may have a jar for a long time. We typically sell detailed embossing powder, and it comes in gold, it comes in black, it comes in white, it comes in clear, and it comes in the most beautiful copper. These are all by Stampendous. beautiful embossing powders, and they are all detailed. So right now it's a powder and I can wipe it off. And if you want to take a static mat to do that, you know, if you want to put a static, what do they call it? An embossing buddy. If you want to make your own embossing buddy, what's an embossing buddy? It's this little pouch that has like a cornstarch in it, and you wipe it over your paper before you put down your embossing, and it takes the static away, so you don't have any extra little embossing powders. They're like $5.99. Or take a pair of pantyhose. I know, it's hard to find pantyhose, right? Nobody wears them anymore. Take a pair of pantyhose or a pair of knee-high pantyhose. Put baby powder, cornstarch, whatever in the toe. Cut it, turn it, fold it into itself, turn it, fold it into itself, and then rubber band it. And for nothing, you have made your own embossing buddy. And you rub it over your paper first, and then you stamp with your Versamark, and then you add your embossing powder. I'm good to go. It's all up to you. But I would rather you make your own embossing buddy and save that $5.99 and get an embossing powder, because you can't make embossing powder. That you can't do. So if you can make something, make it and spend the money on the things you can't make. Now, while this is powder, I could wipe this entirely off. I need to heat set it. And to do that, I need a heat tool. We've got the Sizzix heat tool. I was using the Ranger one, and I like the Ranger one. It looks more like a hair dryer. It takes longer to turn the powder into a solid, but it didn't burn anything. Same with the Sizzix. It's got 2 speeds. And I am able to get super close. Without burning my paper. Okay, so for those of you who have never seen embossing before, I've taken my powder, which is a plastic, a substrate of plastic is what it ultimately is, that's ground very, very fine. I've taken that plastic and I've melted it into a solid. And now it doesn't wipe off. If I were to wipe over here, I could dust all this away. I could dust all that away. See? Oh no, what did you do, Stacy? That's okay. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. We'll just ink it up. Versamark first. Your embossing buddy on your paper if you have one or if you make one. Put my paper down. Give a nice back rub. How long do you have until Versamark is completely dry? You've got several minutes. It's not that you have to rush. That's the thing about Versamark, is that it is meant to stay wet long enough for you to then get your embossing powder on it. So stamp there, Versamark there. Let's do, I don't know, maybe we should do the copper. Should we do the copper? Copper down. Get it all over. Tap it off. Put almost all of it away. Used almost nothing. And this time I'm going to heat set the whole thing. You saw what happened. And I just wiped it away. So let's heat set. Now I'm not doing this. I'm staying in one place until it turns, and then I'm moving it. The idea is to have enough heat so that the embossing powder melts. If you're doing this, you're adding heat, taking heat away, adding heat, taking it away, adding it, taking it away. Just stay in one place and you can actually watch the embossing powder turn from a powder into a solid. Okay. So there's the copper. Oh, but you see, I can see I missed a space. Do you see how dark that is in comparison to everything else, and that it doesn't have that beautiful shine? That means I didn't add any heat there. You want to be able to look at it and see it get the reflection of the light off of it, and you'll be able to see if you missed anything. So bam. And how long does it take to dry? It's not a paint. It's a powder that is turning to a solid. So the minute it cools down, it is dried. And it has that raised feeling like a finely made invitation where they've been printed and embossed with beautiful ink. And that's what you have. Now we take our stencils and let's go. So top, yep. Line it up. And some maker's tape. Make sure I didn't move it when I put my maker's tape down. Washi tape. It's kind of whatever you have that's going to work. I think that's good. Put it down. And let's go with my yellow. And this time I've left plenty of room. So let's add a little bit of yellow. And maybe a little bit of dandelion. Let's see what color dandelion is. Nope, I think I'm going to add a little bit of orange. Orange soda. And just add a little bit of orange to this. And my yellow. Where'd I put it? I probably used my yellow for that. Just blend a little bit in there. Good. I put my yellow in my orange, but they're in the same color family, right? Okay, done. I'm not going to do any more than that. So first layer down. Bam. Now let's go to layer number 2. And I think layer number 2 will be this one. And this does my other little flowers. And lay it down. And this time I think I'll stick with my orange. And this time maybe I'll add a little bit of red to my orange. Now I'm not really coloring, I'm just daubing it on with my dauber. Okay. Done. Now let's do my leaves. And line up my leaves. Look at how easy peasy it is when you mark your stencils first. Holy smokes, artichokes. Okay, and tape it on down. And go in with a little bit of yellow just because I like to make sure that everything gets a color on it. Just a little bit, there we go. Okay, and now I can go back in with my green. If you've always wanted to be able to color, but you're afraid of it, these stencils make it so easy. If you are a newbie to crafting, stamp, stencil, done. Okay. So there I am. Oh, it's really coming along, huh? And the last thing I need to do is my butterflies and my centers. So line up my butterflies. And my centers. And I think I'm gonna do my centers. Gosh, do I do them in yellow? Oh, I think that looks really good. I think that one looks, I might not do anything to my centers. Those look great. And I think I'm just gonna add a little bit around that one. And then these centers, ooh, what if I made them really red? Daub, 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 daub. And then my butterflies, what if I made my butterflies like a blue, like a pool? Maybe more, I think I want more aqua. What does deep ocean look like? Ooh, I like deep ocean. Ooh. Okay. And bam. Look at how pretty is that. And it took us no time, and more importantly, it took us no talent. It took no skill at all to do this. That is my kind of crafting. The hardest thing I have to choose is what color inks I want to use. Absolutely, the hardest thing I have to choose. But what if you didn't want to use daubers? Can you use alcohol inks? Absolutely, you can go in there and use alcohol inks. No problem. Let's put that one aside for right now, and let's play with this one. Ooh. So what does this one do? Love, 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 love. So this time I'm only going to use the stamp because I'm going to play with my Aussie Andrew alcohol markers. Sure, I'm just going to play with the stamp. And this stamp has the same dented can issue as the rest of the stamps. Oh no, well, I don't have to write because I'm not going to use but you never know. Maybe I'll change my mind. I'm so indecisive sometimes. Okay, so one side's going to peel off easy peasy, and one side is not. And that's the side, don't force it. Don't force it. Don't force it. Just accept it as is. That's how it was meant to be, kind of, sort of. And let's just do the whole thing. So I'll do one in Versamark. And hopefully I get a good image because I haven't stamped with this one yet. It's brand new. We'll see what I get. Good back rub, good back rub. Can you see see now that the brown, well, now that's a clean stamp, you can barely see it. Can you see a watermarked image in there? I don't know if you can. I'm trying to find an angle, but I can't tell if you can see it or not. And let's put it aside. Let's get our black. Let's do black embossing powder. Detailed embossing powder right over the top. Oh, I think I missed a spot, but that's okay. We're just going to go. Oh, maybe I didn't. And you can see the image. And I'm just kind of walking it on down. Give a little bit of a thump. Get all that extra embossing powder off. Take a paintbrush if you want to do it. Take your homemade embossing buddy, whatever makes your heart happy. But remember, it's powder. So if I hit it with the paintbrush, it's going to go all over. Let's take my black embossing powder and put it away because you use very little. Can embossing powder go bad? I don't know that it goes bad per se, but I suppose with heat and humidity, it might change it a little bit. So if you've had an embossing powder that is old and you're having trouble with it, it may be that the heat, humidity, changes in the temperature have altered it a little bit. They're $4.99 a jar, and then they go on a YouTube Yummy sale. Go ahead, make your embossing buddy and buy one of these. Invest in a new one because you're going to have it for another 10 years. Okay, so I've done that. Let's heat this up. Stay in one place until it turns. You can see it going shiny and glossy. with the black. Look at the difference. This is embossed over here, and you got a gloss coming off of it. This is still a powder, and it's kind of dull. This is bright and shiny and happy, and the other side is dull because it hasn't turned yet. Okay, I think I've got it all. I'm just gonna look on an angle to see if I've got any dull spots. I don't see any. So I think I'm good. And then I'm gonna take one more, and instead of doing it in embossing powder, I'm gonna ink it up and stamp with my Hero Arts India ink, just so you can see the difference. So India ink is a dye-based ink. It will stain a clear stamp, which is fine. Once you clean it, as long as there's no more ink on it, as long as no ink comes off on your baby wiper or your scrubby, whatever you're using to clean your stamp, it's fine. But India ink allows you to color with watercolors and Copics, and it's a really beautiful ink. Hopefully I put enough on there, right? I did. I put enough on there because this is a big pad. And we have the re-inkers for the India ink. We have those, or we have them exclusively from Hero Arts, the re-inkers on the India ink. So give a good little back rub. Use your acrylic block if you want to. Just tape it on. Use your stamp positioner if you want to. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Fabulous. So now I have got the difference between a stamped image and an embossed image. Let me cut them down just so you can see them. So stamped, embossed here, stamped here. Which do you like better? Up to you. But now we can take our markers, our $1.99 alcohol ink markers that work like a gem. They're beautiful. And we can go in and we can start to color. So I start with my lightest color, go in with my lightest color, do my whole image in my lightest color, so these are not Copic sketch markers. These are Couture Creations alcohol markers. They are not $7.99 or even $5.79 when you can get Sketch on sale. They're $1.99. They have a brush tip on one side and a bullet tip on the other. They are not refillable. They are refillable. We just don't have the refills for them. And at $1.99, I don't know that Aussie Andrew is going to do refills. He's going to do refills for the blender, the colorless blender, which really isn't a blender at all. But and we'll get nibs. We're going to have nibs for them and a checkbook so you can keep track of your colors, or that you can see all your colors at any one time. Okay, then I'm going to take my darker color and I'm going to come in with my darker color. And then I'm going to go back on top of my darker color with my lighter color. It's all about keeping it wet. It's all about keeping that ink wet. And when you add your darker color, then you go back with your lighter color and kind of blend it in. It's all about keeping that ink wet. When the ink is wet, it has a chance to move. It has a chance to spread. If you don't keep the ink wet, the ink has no place to go. It just seeps right in and it's done. But if the ink is wet, it gives it an opportunity to move. And when you really see it is once it's all dry. And I'm just using 2 pens. I am not a aficionado in alcohol markers. I am not. I don't pretend to be. I just know that it's not as hard as some make it seem or as you might think it is. It's all about just keeping that ink wet. And then you're coloring. You're coloring. Let's take, I like that yellow. Ooh, black on it. Black, 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 black. Maybe this one. Or maybe the light pink. What pink is this? Is this a light pink? Oh, that's a very bright pink. That's a very bright pink. So when you're on top of your embossing, you don't want to push too hard and you don't want to stay too long. You don't want to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth because the alcohol is going to interact with the embossing powder. Oh, I forgot a whole leaf right there. I forgot a whole petal. Oh, that's my dark one. I mixed my lids. Nope, did it again. This is my dark one. My light one. There, that one's done. Oh, that one goes there. Mixed my lids. And now I suppose I could go in with, maybe I could do the red. So a little bit of red and then my pink. Oh yeah, that looks good. Red and then my pink. Red and then my pink. It's all about keeping the ink wet. Red and then my pink. A little bit of red. Oh yeah, that'll do. So it's just about coloring, and all you do is play. I know they talk about color families, so when you're looking at Ozzie Andrews alcohol markers, please don't pay attention to the numbers on them. It makes no difference. They don't make any sense at all. The colors have nothing to do with the numbering system. Copics are very specific to their numbering system. So then it's really important. Here we're not going to worry about it so much. Put a little bit of yellow on my leaf. And then let's grab, let's see what color green this is. Yeah, meh. Let's see what color green this is. Oh, better. And then my yellow. So some green And then some yellow. And some green. And some yellow. Green. And keep it wet with that yellow so it has a chance to bleed and blend. And you just start to color. It's not hard. Alcohol markers are not hard. You just have to be adventurous. You have to try. If you don't try, I only used 2 markers. That's all I used, is 2 markers to do these. And they're so pretty. But I could also do them on my paper that is not embossed. This is just stamped. And I could go in there and do my yellow. And color all of my flower. This time I won't forget that one. And then decide what I want my accent color to be. Do I want it to be a pink? So go in there with a little bit of pink down at the bottom. And then come back with my yellow. And maybe a little more pink. And some yellow. It's all about keeping that ink wet so that it has the opportunity to move and kind of bleed into each other. It's not going to blend like a traditional water-based product. Oh, that's so pretty. You're just going to color. And remember, it's only paper. Worst case scenario, you go meh, and it's only paper. And it's all about keeping that ink wet. Okay, so there's my pink, and maybe I come back with a little bit of, oh, I wish I had orange. What color is that? Oh, yeah, that's good. Come back with a little bit of orange in there and really make it tropical. And come back with a little bit of orange in there and really make it tropical. So now I'm using my orange and my yellow. And you'll notice that my ink isn't bleeding at all. The black ink isn't bleeding at all. Forgot some pink there. And then I'm going to give this a chance for that ink to dry. Give that ink a chance to dry. Is it going to bleed through? Yes, it's alcohol ink. It is going to bleed all the way through. Is that okay? Yes, it's fine. Now I'm going to give that a chance to dry, and I've made a beautiful flower. That is so pretty. And I could go in with my greens and do my greens. I could start with my green and go in there, and this is a little dark, but I think it's the lightest green that I have. Could you use it just as a marker and not do any shading at all? Absolutely you can. But I want you to see that you can use the stamps without the die and the stencil. Let's see, what color is this? I'm literally just adding that to add some definition down the center. Two colors, that's all I'm using. And then we'll let it dry, and it'll have definition and detail. Really simple to do. But it's up to you. Do you prefer the embossed with alcohol markers? Do you prefer the stamped with alcohol markers? Do you prefer the embossed with the daubers? You choose. You have options. Where's the dauber for there? Where's the... So here's the stamp. Let's take a look and see. So here's the stamp set, and I'm just going to line these up. So let's get my red pen, put my pins away. And this is, can't do it with a brush tip. Top and up, so that's one. This is two, which I think is going to be down here. This is top and up. This is three, which is right here, top and up. And then this is four with my dragonfly, and my dragonfly is right there. So this is top and up. Okay, let's see what we can make with it. Grab a piece of paper. Grab my Hero Hues. Hopefully I got the whole thing. Oh, yay! I don't know why it surprises me when they come out good, but it just does. Let's grab stencil number one, top. Look at how easy is that. And you can do the stenciling almost in any order. If I wanted to start with my leaves, I could start with my leaves. I don't know why I start with the biggest flowers first. The one you want to leave to the last is the one with the smallest detail, because that's usually your centers. But I could absolutely start with my leaves and not my flowers. Start with my leaves. I think that's pretty close. Grab my green. This time I'll just do straight and just go. Oh, see, I went off the side. Straight green. Just go in there and do my green. So I'm kind of dabbing it down a little light. And then come back and maybe add some darker. Come back and add a little shading just by adding a little darker green. So this time I started with my leaves. Okay, good. Then I will move to my big flower. Line it up. Pick my color. I think I'll do red. Ooh, how about we do blue? We haven't done a blue flower yet, right? How about we do blue? Now I'm going to do really light blue along the outsides. So I'm kind of inking off, stamping off with my dauber and doing light blues. And then I'm going to come back and put some dark blue in it, so that you can see one ink pad, one color, and you can make magic. Don't have to have 25 colors. It's great if you do, but I don't want you to feel like you can't do this if you don't have oodles and oodles of inks to play with. Oh, that's looking good. And then my next layer, which is here. And how about we do that in yellows? And tape it down. Aw, it fell out. That's okay. I found it, and let's put it back. So we don't sell these little doodads. These were a gift from a wonderful customer who sent them to us. Isn't that, do you see how it sits? Look at that. We don't sell them. And it's from a store I've never heard of before, and I can't even tell you where to go get them, but they're fabulous. If you have washi tape and you get 3 to a pack, and somebody told me it's like $1.50 for everything in that store. So let's do some yellows. And I'm just daubing. We'll have some a little deeper in color, some a little lighter in color. Look at how pretty it's becoming. And then our last one is this one. Did I miss something on that? I must have missed something somewhere. Oh, I did. I missed it here. Look at that. I missed a whole color. I was so worried about those flowers. That's okay. Put my stencil right back down. Done. Now let's do my dragonfly. I don't know what the blue centers are going to look like. We'll have to wait to see what I get. And maybe a pink. Dragonfly. And then I can line it up and cut it out. You just have to remember the stamp is not going to come off. Just remember it's a dented can. But a dented can got me not only my homemade popsicles, but my cookies as well. And you know, as a kid, I think to me it was back in the time when you didn't have debit cards. Let's see, let me find a way to line this bad boy up. You didn't have debit cards or Apple Wallet or whatever it is. You know, my parents had cash and you had a check. And so I think as a child, I just assumed, well, as long as, you know, mom just has to sign her name to something and, you know, and obviously it means money. Not that the check actually has to clear the bank. I didn't know anything about that. It's kind of like my kids when they would come into the store and we had our old cash register, Bertha. And they would say, Mommy, just hit the green button because obviously there's money in the drawer. I mean, it's just as easy as hitting the green button. So, you know, it's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. And my mom, she just made it happen. And she taught me the value of not, you know, hey, a dented can doesn't have to mean that it's not any good. And look at what more you can get from it. Look at how much more you got because you went ahead and bought the dented can. She's very smart, I don't think she ever got enough credit for just how wise my mother was. My dad was I'm very much like my dad. Very boisterous and outgoing and the life of the party. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I don't know what paper I have to put against it, but that's just... And my mom just let my dad be that person. But every now and then her words of wisdom would come out and just grab you by the you know, the horns and just, yeah, Mom, you were right. So look at what we did today with some dented cans. We took and made some beautiful things. I mean, we were able to take them and make them more than what they were. I know I have more here somewhere because I know I did more than that, but I know it's here somewhere. But we were able to take Ozzie Andrews' collection and take it to the next level. Do I have, oh, here's another one. Take it to the next level by being okay that the heat and the pressure won't let us take it off. And by you getting everything you need in one set, God, I used them all. Oh, here we go. By you getting everything you need in one set, you get all the stencils. You get the die. Actually, you get more than the die. You get the die plus and the stamp for $11.99. Like I said, I know companies that are selling the stamp for maybe $10.99, and then the stencils are maybe, I don't know, $10.99, and then the die is maybe $10.99, and you put it all together. It's all sold a la carte. And so for $30, you've got the whole collection, or for $11.99. You decide, you choose. And like I said, when you do the I Want It All bundle, well, we'll get there. Let me show you. Okay, so that's what we did today. We took a dented can and made some pretty amazing magic with it. And then the stencils to clean them off, just like the stamps. Baby wipes. Will it stain? It might. Can you get the stain off? Sometimes if you use a little alcohol or hand sanitizer, it'll pull the color off. You just want to make sure that that your baby wipe is clear And then you know you've got as much color off as you can get. If you wipe the color off right after you do it, it's going to come off a lot easier. There we go. So a little bit of rubbing out, or hand sanitizer, rubbing alcohol, and I can pretty much get them fairly clean. You could even use this just to do some little butterflies on something else. I mean, they're so practical, they're so useful, and at the dented can price, I don't think you can find anything else that's comparable. I just don't. All right, so let me show you what's on sale before I get to the samples. We did a lot. We did coloring. We did coloring and die cutting. We did coloring and embossing. Oh, here it is. We did coloring. Oh, here it is. Look at, here they are. Well, by George, we did embossing and coloring. Love that. We did alcohol ink coloring. We just threw a little bit of everything at it and it took it all. Look at how pretty is that. Oh, yay, 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 yay. Okay, so what's on sale? Well, that's easy. This is the I Want It All bundle. You can buy each set individually for $11.99. Or you can get all 4 sets that I used, plus a random set of ink. I don't know if it's going to be this one. I don't know if it's going to be this one. I don't know if it's going to be this one. I don't know if it's going to be this one. I don't know if it's going to be that one. I don't know if it's going to be that one. We have a whole bunch of inks. You're going to get a random 4-pack of ink, which is $11.99. And you're going to get 4 daubers, 1 for each color in the pack, so that you can start right away if you choose the I Want It All bundle. These are free. Free. Give them to you for free. So instead of $80 for these, plus $12, that's $92, plus $4, that's $96. It's all for, I think, $47.99. Or you buy the sets that you like the best. Up to you which ones you like for $11.99. Then I didn't use it, but we have it, and we are very limited on it. I have a stamp positioner from a well-respected, trusted company, and I don't know how long we'll have them because I don't know how long until they get a cease and desist order, but I have some, and I have some of the extra magnets. So we have this on sale for you as well. And then we'll have the Versamark, and we'll have the embossing powders, and we'll have the India ink. All of that'll be on sale as well. And then we'll have the extra daubers if you want more daubers. My 20-pack is the best deal anywhere. It's $9.99 and you get 20 daubers. I don't think anybody can touch the 20-pack for $9.99. And then we do sell the kit for $23.99. You get 40 daubers. They're not used. And the little kit for $23.99. So if you want to start with the 4 daubers you get when you get the I Want It All, great. If you want to add to it, absolutely. All right, let me show you samples. So we've put the samples in order of the kit. So here is the kit with those flowers. And let me see if I can, this is CO728521 is that kit. So let me show you the samples that we did out of that kit. Beautiful, right? Look at this one. Hello. Isn't that pretty? And then here, I know it might be hard to see, but I'm going to try and get a glare on it. We stamped and put clear embossing powder. So we stamped with this stamp all on the background, and then just did a clear embossing powder on it. Oh my gosh, is that so pretty? It's so subtle. And these are just the alcohol markers just kind of scribbled in. Look at all the negative space that was left. Is that beautiful? Beautiful. And that's the copper embossing powder. Oh, I love this card. It's just elegant. Only way to describe it is elegant. And then here we started on something and didn't get to finish it. Started on something but didn't get to finish it. They started. They even got one popped. But we didn't get to finish. So the girls will do something with it later. But this is in the gold embossing powder. I happen to like them with the embossing powder and the dauber ink. I think that embossing powder just adds a something to them. I really do. Then we have the rose set. And this one is CO728519. And the samples we did with that one. See, and you get the little bees. And we put a little bling in the center. We just put a little bit of bling going in the center. How pretty, how pretty. And then look at this. So embossed in silver and then cut in half to use as corners. Is that beautiful? And then you've got the little flowers or dies that come with that set. Those are the extras. And thinking of you. And then they did a 3D embossing on the background. And then alcohol markers. How pretty is that? And then the next set I have for you is here. This is the one I actually didn't use today. It is CO728520. And oh my gosh. Okay, I did show you this sample in the beginning. Is that beautiful? Look at the embossing, look at the coloring. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Love that one. And then look at this. It is stamped and embossed on a pattern paper, and then we have a vellum, a foiled vellum on the back. Look at that, no coloring at all. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Beautiful. Oh, I love the blues. I do. Look at the blues. And on that copper embossing powder, it pops. Look at how easy peasy. You saw, this was all done with daubers. You saw me do it, just with daubers. And then the last set I have for you is the Sunflowery Daisy one that I was using. It is CO728518. And I showed you the hello sample in the beginning. Oh, look at that. So the detailed embossing powder makes all the difference. It grabs those super fine lines. And when it melts, it doesn't spread too much. It holds to those super fine lines. Ugh. Look at how pretty. And it just, this one winks at you. It's got sparkle on the flowers, and it just absolutely winks at you. It says, hello, hello, pay attention to me, I'm pretty. And then here. Oh, you guys are gonna love these. You are, it's the best dented can ever. You're going to love them. And then we have 2 layouts. So the first one is here. The flowers are part of the die that comes with the set. So the flowers, look at how pretty the flowers are that she did. Aren't they beautiful? Here's the whole layout. And then Elena stamped in a super light color to give a tone on tone. In fact, she might have even used Versamark to give a tone on tone look. Just subtle and elegant, and it just is perfect. It's so pretty. She does these so quick. God bless Elena's heart. She is awesome at the layouts. She and Claire are amazing. Amazing at layouts. And here is Claire's layout. So you've got it stamped and die cut, but then you've got stamped and embossed on the border. And then you've got up here. Look at how cute is this. I wonder if that's the tag that comes with it. It might be. Could be. Not sure. But it's super cute. And she used the stamp to make the border here. And white embossing powder. So this is Claire's layout. Plenty of room for images. And she's using elements that you may not think to go get when you're doing layouts. Yes, you can use your stamps. Yes, your stamps make an embellishment. They are an embellishment. They are. You can do this. It's not just about stickers. Make your own. It's beautiful. And if you already own it, well, you got it to use. Yay. All right. So, wow. Lot to talk about today. I know I talked and I talked and I talked and I talked and well, I'm glad I got over the first figuring out how to line it up. Oh my gosh, I should have done that ahead of time because downstairs it was no problem. Downstairs I was just lining them up easy peasy. But of course they were already marked. Downstairs they marked theirs ahead of time. And when I was playing with the samples, it was like, oh, look at how easy, but that's okay. You went with me and you know that there's no editing and there's no overdubbing and voiceovers and it's hold please, I'll be right back. I got it eventually and I learned my lesson. Mark the stencils. Now, where are you gonna find all of these? Well, the Couture Creations stamp stencil die kits or sets are sold here. We are moving them out for Ozzy Andrew because of the dented can. It is not an issue at all. They're going to be beautiful when you work with them. Just know you're getting a smoking hot deal on it because of the stamp not coming off the liner. You saw me do a whole 2-hour class on it and didn't faze me at all. So enjoy the savings. Enjoy the savings. Inks, you can use any inks you want. It doesn't have to be Hero Arts. You can use Mementos. You can use Tim Holtz Distress. You can use Tim Holtz Oxide. You can use the Hero Hues. You can use Lawn Fawn. What inks do you have? Do you have a couple inks by Lawn Fawn and a couple inks by Hero Arts and a couple inks by Tim Holtz? Use the ink that has the color you want. You're going for color, not what ink, who makes what. If you've got a whole bunch, just put them all together and grab the colors that work best for the project you're working on. But any inks will work to do this. Embossing powders, you may already have it. Your local independent retailer will have embossing powders and they will have inks. Go visit them for the inks, the embossing powders. Absolutely. Come here for the dies and the stamps and the stencils since we're the only place you can get them. And they are limited. Ozzy Andrew, thank goodness, did not order a bajillion of them. Yes, bajillion's a word. So when they are gone, they are gone. And I think that they are well worth the $11.99. Absolutely. So it is me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Thanking you for hanging with me today. I will see you all next week. Next week. And hopefully you've had a chance to go over and take a look at the new Tim Holtz Christmas release from Arc on Wild and Friends Stampers Anonymous. It is live on our site right now. It is on sale, and if you place your order
by the date posted, it will ship to you by the following Friday. So if you put your order in today for those stamps, or you put your order in tomorrow or Monday, they will start shipping on Friday to you. This is the last, there's only one more Tim product releasing that we're doing an expedited shipping on for the year. Otherwise, this is it and we're done with it. And I think Tim is about done for the year with all of his Christmas and Halloween. So it's been fun. It's been an adventure. It's been new. But we appreciate all of the help from the manufacturers, making sure that everything gets bundled. So all we have to do is slap a label on it and ship it on out to you. All right, you guys, me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Bye.